Okay, so let's talk about transformations. This is an interesting topic. Now, what exactly are we talking about when we're talking about transformations? When we're talking about transformation, we're talking about changes, right? These are changes that are going to be happening. The changes happen to a shape. So a shape, right, experiences some change, and the result is an image, right? So we have the original shape, which experiences some changes to produce a new shape known as the image. So in transformations, you will have a shape, then the transformation, which maps that shape onto a new shape that we'll call the image. So what kind of changes are we talking about here? We're talking about changes in dimensions, right? Changes in measurements. So something that was smaller could become bigger. Something that seemed to be straight may, bend a little, right? So these are changes to the dimensions of the shape, the measurements of the shape, right? We can also experience changes to the orientation of the shape. So if you had a shape like this, right, it can flip and face the other direction, or it can rotate like this, right? So as you can see, the shape is changing its orientation, right? That is how it is standing. So it's just flipping and rotating. Those are the changes to orientation that we can experience. So we have 6 types of transformations that we look at in our syllabus, right? 6 types of transformations, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a translation, reflection, rotation, enlargement, stretch, shear. So these are the types of changes that can occur to the shape. A shape can be translated to produce an image. It can be reflected to produce an image. It can be rotated to produce an image. It can be enlarged to produce an image. It can be stretched to produce an image, or it can be sheared to produce an image. Now, I like to divide these 6 into 2 groups, right? So we have the 3 above and we have the 3 below, right? If we look at these 3 above here, right? Translation, reflection, rotation, there is no change to dimensions. So no change in dimensions. In other words, the shape does not change its appearance, right? The shape is the same size. All the sides are the same size. Nothing changes in the appearance of the shape. The change happens in position and or orientation, right? So the changes that will occur are where the shape is located, right? Right? A translation is simply a movement of a shape to a new position. So the original shape and the image of that shape will be in different positions, right? So position changed. Reflection and rotation also change the orientation, right? So the shape flips in one way or the other. It flips and changes its orientation, right? That's what these transformations do, but they do not in any way change the actual appearance or size of the shape. They only change the orientation of the shape. So you're looking at the same shape, but it's just been flipped one way or the other. Now, if you look at these ones, enlargement, stretch, and shear, there actually is change in dimensions, right? You're going to have change in position as well. Not so much orientation in all cases. Of course, there are enlargement situations where you also have change in orientation. But mostly it's change in dimensions and change in the position. So the measurements of the shape change, right? The image could be bigger, it could be smaller, it could be slightly askew, the image and the shape actually look different. So if you have enlargement, stretch, and shear, the image and the original shape before the transformation look different. But if you have translation, reflection, and rotation, the shape and the image look exactly the same. The only difference is the position and the orientation. So this is the first thing you need to understand before we proceed. We shall go into looking into each and every one of these transformations one by one.